Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. Hello, everybody. I'm a couple minutes late, 4 minutes late. Oh my gosh, I should have put 9:45, but here I am. I'm here. Oh my goodness, what do I got in the thumbnail? I didn't even get a chance to get a screenshot of it. Double Jeopardy, court adjourned. I don't know. It's question marks behind it. So anyway, how you doing, Diane? Nice to see you, Jersey Joe. Diane's giving us updates. Yeah, that's all the stuff I'm going to talk about tonight, Diane. You know, sounds good to me. Araceli, how you doing? Yeah, he did with Robert Herr. Hi, Nikki. How you doing? Hi, Jax. But let me see here. We had Robert Herr in, and I sat and watched that for a good while. And he was threading the needle, dancing around. And I saw some similarities in questions he was asked and that other people have been asked. And I saw a video come up. It said it was posted something like 12 minutes ago or something like that. And who was it? It was Megyn Kelly. And I said, oh, I wonder if she's going to respond to Mr. T when he told her R.I.P. Rest in peace. So anyway, I'll get to that in a minute because I sure did watch it. But let's see. Awaken Trillium, how you doing? B. Mitch, how are you doing? Nice to see you, Angela. William's here. Good. Everybody's showing. That's good to see. So anyway, so we had references going back to Cassidy Hutchinson with her fabricated story, as Mr. T teed off. He teed off on truth, and then the other word is social. And I got to take the day tomorrow and tee off some stuff myself. Stuff I got in my phone, memes and stuff like that. So check it out. You know, if you get a chance, and go ahead and follow me on that platform. But it was interesting. As I watched also Robert Gavoya. He was talking about Cassidy Hutchinson and Liz Cheney, you know, how they met in the bowels of the Capitol, things like that. And that she had a third meeting, or it might have been after her third meeting with Liz Cheney, and actually ditched her lawyer. Cassidy Hutchinson ditched her attorney. Well, gave him the slip, kind of, and in so many words, asked Liz Cheney, you know any good lawyers I can use? And Liz Cheney said, I might, yeah. And then about 5 seconds later, Cassidy had a new lawyer. Then this crap comes out about grabbing the steering wheel and all this kind of crazy stuff. So remember what I was saying about RICO and what Rudy Giuliani was talking about, the precepts for RICO. Repeated activities, okay? You rob one jewelry store, that's a crime. You rob like 5 in a row, that's RICO, and anybody involved can get drugged down with it, even if they didn't even know the name of the jewelry store, but if they're part of that modus operandi, right? We've talked about that in the past. Hi, Wayne, how you doing? Sherry, nice to see you. How's my audio? Is my audio good, Andrew? Am I breaking up or what? Hi, Ali. Lone Wolf, how you doing? Might have been me shuffling around. I had to take my coat off. Hi, Tracy. Free pizza. Where's that at? Well, did you notice what I put in my thumbnail? I saw a meme today. It was posted by Devin Nunes. And I was shocked. It said on November 5th, there's going to be a nationwide IQ test. I said, somebody's watching me. And that's what I got in my thumbnail. Sometimes I feel like somebody's watching me. You all are my witnesses. You all are my witnesses. Hi, Red Housen, or most of you who have been watching the last couple of programs. Hi, David. Nice to see you. Tennessee, how you doing? Thanks for helping the channel out last night, Tennessee. I appreciate it. What do I think of? Yeah, the Swalwell video. I got a notation here. I got a notation, and I'm going to go down over that. Swalwell pulling his little stunts. But even worse than that, that one Congresswoman, Ms. What was her name? Ms. Ross. Coming right out and calling Donald Trump a who white, all right, and then supreme and an assist, all right. That's what she called him. That's what I'm thinking, Angela. That's what I was going to do my thumbnail. I might do my thumbnail in the future. It's beginning to look a lot like Ryko. Wait till I get to the point of what Trump and his team filed with Judge Mascara. I called him Merchant in the past, but it's pronounced Mercan or Mercan. K-A-H-N is a sound I've been here and pronounced Mercan. Remember Captain Kirk going, Con! So Trump going, Mercan. But anyway, Kirk won out in that, by the way. What was his name? Juan Mercan. Trump and his team filed to have him adjourn the court until this business of immunity could be heard. And this happens to be with the Alvin Bragg case. And that has to do with the Stormy business. And that was, man, they threw up so much confetti at those hearings today. That's right, Lone Wolf. She needs to be censored. I'm surprised Jim Jordan, in a way, I'm surprised Jim Jordan didn't call her out. But, I said that old country saying, let them show their, their backsides. Yeah, things are eating up around the world, Nikki. And I tell you, last night I alluded to it, but I just couldn't bring myself to discuss it. And what I've done is I moved my, when I scroll around, look for stuff, I don't have autoplay. When videos pop up, I don't have autoplay anymore. Because there was a disturbing video out of Haiti that, and I've told you all, I go on sites and, you see things that are pretty horrible, but there's wars going on. There's, things happening, and those videos get put up. And unfortunately, this video was even put on Truth, but it doesn't autoplay, and you get a warning. And that was a video from Haiti where they're putting out videos of how horrible it is. And one of the things that video was about was, I guess I'll say it this way. Ableism. And then ableism in Haiti is going on right now. And this one person actually makes videos and posts them, and he gives himself the nickname Barbecue. And it's disgusting. It's horrific. It's a nightmare. And what I've said over the past couple of years, that there's stuff going on that will shock the conscience. That people aren't, they may read stories about it, but it doesn't hit home. And the prime minister has resigned and fled the country, formally done it. I said there was rumors about it, and I just couldn't talk about it last night because I saw that video and I did not want to see it, and I didn't see any warning beforehand, and I just couldn't talk about it. So anyway, that's what's going on, and we've got a words out about the Department of Defense is saying that there's going to be a large number of Haitians fleeing by sea to get to here. You look at the map where Haiti is, okay? It's in our hemisphere. We've got these horrors going on in our own backyard, and we're sending $100 billion to you, Crystal. Okay. Hi, Anita. How you doing? Hi, Em. Terry, how you doing? So I saw a bunch of 5x5, so I guess my sound is good. I don't know what's good. Hi, Redhausen. I don't know was the problem, Andrew, with my sound, other than my raspy old voice. It should be coming in pretty good. If I missed anybody, I apologize. In salutations. And I check the chats every now and again. I don't catch every chat. But Clandestine put up standard Wednesday in 2024. Biden regime sent another $300 million in weapons to Ukraine, and the U.S. military admits Haitians' plans to flee by sea to Florida to escape cannibal gangs that have taken over the country. Biden committed the crimes they accused Trump of. So those three things happened today. Those three things happened today. If you think we have been, hi Anita, yeah, hit the thumbs up. If Pappy Two Bears, how you doing? If you've been thinking it is horrible what has been going on, I saw 2 videos I did not want to see. So something happened in Europe with a newcomer to one of the European countries where somebody lost their life. Hi, Gary. How you doing? New insight. How you doing? Somebody lost their life just to a newcomer, air quotes, that was brandishing a KNI and then FE. MS Motorsports. How you doing? I hope you're feeling better, buddy. And where's my buddy Bubba? Speaking of feeling better, I hope he's doing good. And Robin too. That's my old school gang. Hey, Aaron, I hadn't seen him in a while. They're all old school. Hi, Tom C. How you doing? Corey Hart. Who's that? Let's see. What did I miss? So anyway, Devin Nunes put that post up about there's going to be an IQ test on November 5th. And I said, man, he didn't make the meme, but I said, Devin Nunes been watching me. So anyway, with that thing that I just read from Clandestine, he put up an ABC News article from 2016 concerning Haiti. ABC News, in Haiti, a factory where big money, State Department, and the Clintons met. Expert, earthquake reconstruction, failed to build Haiti back better. Quotes, back better. Failed to build Haiti back better. This was in October 11, 2016. And I got a photograph of Hillary and Bill, all smiles, with a bunch of workers or aid workers around them, apparently, from Haiti. So that is going to be coming to the fore. But what gets me in 2016 was Joe using that phraseology of build back better back in 2016. I don't know. Y'all search your memory banks. Let me know, because this looks to me like the genesis of the Build Back Better BS, right? Build Back Better BS in 2016. So, flashback to 2010. I guess the photo of Bill and Hillary is probably 2010. And remember, Trump told Hillary to her face in their first debate, the Haitian people can't stand you. Okay? And a lot of us know the details about what happened there. Well, some of the details. It says flashback 2010. The Clinton Foundation were in charge of the 13 plus billion in aid to rebuild Haiti. Bill Clinton used the phrase, build Haiti back better. That was back in 2010, folks. It's beginning to look like Rico. Anyway, the Haitian people never saw that money. And now their country is ruled by cannibal gangs. This is what the Dems mean when they say, quote, build back better. They do not care about helping the needy. They are only interested in enriching themselves under the guise of, quote, foreign aid. I've been seeing a lot of memes saying foreign aid is just money laundering, okay? Money laundering, terms the average American can understand, especially in the context of RICO. But anyway, it goes on to say, all of the money went to the Clinton-affiliated contractors who kicked it back to the Clintons via donations and other means. The Clintons, capital letters, destroyed Haiti and the lives of millions, all for their own gain. The state of the country is a direct result of their greed and deception. They have the same plans for us. Hi, Phil. How you doing? Yeah, I just talked about Mr. BBQ. It's disgusting. I saw a couple of videos. Hi, Kicking Bird. How you doing? I saw a couple of videos about that gross stuff. Let me see. Don't forget opera. Oh, yeah, opera. Yeah. Yeah, I think I got something about her in here in my queue of stories. You know, here's one from last week or about 4 days ago that I didn't get to. If people think, oh, like we had somebody come in the chats a long time ago, a couple months ago, and said, semi-caps, you know, my kids go to school and we have no problem with the kind of stuff you're trying to exaggerate about the tranny movement and stuff. And I was like, well, you're gonna hear about it. Your kids are gonna be affected by it. And I didn't block him. He just disappeared. You know, I want people like that to come into my chats. I want to talk to them. Hi, Island Girl. How you doing? Yeah, I hit the like button. But anyway, Gateway Pundit put out, jury convicts Portland, Oregon woman of biased crime for misgendering an individual in the woman's bathroom. The Gateway Pundit. And it says it's actually happening now. So, yeah, they got her claiming criminal harassment. When you see some hairy-legged individual wearing a dress coming into the woman's room, you can't say anything or you're harassing them. So yeah, for the people that think it's not a big deal, it's going to, like I unfortunately keep saying, people haven't felt it enough. And then somebody put out today on Twitter, they said that it's happening again with the control of the message. Somebody put up a meme. We are Breitbart. Has a picture of Joe Biden. It says in print, if Biden is too feeble to be prosecuted, he's too feeble to be president. And at the bottom, it has in bright red letters with a warning sign, missing context. The same information was reviewed by independent fact checkers in another post. So they're fact checking something that we heard with our own ears. A member of the Department of Justice said he would, I'm going to say this in Robert Hur's defense. He said the perception of the jury would be that he is a harmless, feeble, old, well-meaning old man, senile old man, however he worded it. He did not say he was. That leaves the door open to him putting on a performance. Because I read one report where the interviewers were made notations that during his 5-hour interview, he was making car noises and bizarre sounds and statements that didn't mesh. And yes, he did have quite a bit of trouble remembering dates. And we've always said in past discussions that him putting on an act to protect himself in worst case scenario is in the cards, you know? So Robert Hur, he was asked, aren't you a member of the Federalist Society? Did you all catch that? I'm going to come back to that because a lot of people getting asked that question lately by Democrats. Hi, David. In Canada, a $2,000 fine. Oh, my God. See, you know, if I was in, say when in Rome, do like the Romans, I would say, I would refer to somebody as that individual or that person. But I would never allow anyone to make me say something delusional or support another's delusion. I'd say that individual over there, or, do like they want. The Russians used to call each other citizens. And in Orwell's book, 1984, they're all calling each other citizen. So, hey, citizen, yeah, come here for a minute. Or go away, citizen. I don't want them coming near me, but you may have to resort to that. That individual or that person, this particular individual here I'm dealing with. Full transcript of Special Counsel Robert Hur interview with forgetful Joe Biden is out. They had that transcript and they didn't release it to members of Congress till this morning for their review. And they're supposed to be prepared to ask questions. But let me tell you something I would find very interesting. If it's shown that certain members of Congress got it way before the Republicans did, what do you think the chances are of that? I said, see, how you doing? Angela's going to bed already. Have a good night, Angela. Rest your nerves. Make sure you listen tomorrow. Catch up with everything. Yeah, are we upside down? Yeah, no, no. Down is up and up is down, David. We've referenced biblical warnings about that. Woe be to those who call good evil and evil good. And God will send them strong delusions. But anyway, I think we're going to find out that people got that transcript, kind of like the debate questions. Special Counsel Robert Hur, here's a quote. We identified evidence that Joe Biden willfully retained classified materials after the end of his vice presidency when he was a private citizen. That's pretty unequivocal. He said further that my report does not exonerate Joe Biden. And they tried to put those words in his mouth several times. And they had stuff on like a slide on a screen. Somebody had to prepare all that. Now, the Republicans didn't have that stuff prepared because they didn't get any transcript or anything of consequence till an hour before the hearing. But Eric Swalwell, I think it was Diane brought that up, he played a short tape of Trump. And I'm not going to waste my time with it, where that came from, but I have a notion that it's a possibility it could have been borrowed from Midas Trash, okay? I used to call him Midas Touch in the Head, but I call him Midas Trash now because I feel that's a Sorosio-funded PSYOP utilizing, unless somebody tells me different, people with strong law backgrounds, right? You know my feelings on that. This tape they played of Trump, you got to remember, Trump has hundreds of hours of live television, live speeches. And they got maybe half a dozen times when he may have stumbled over a word, and I do it every broadcast. Thank you very much. But the thing I noticed was, and if you have the misfortune of hearing it again, they dragged the volume. It's called dragging the volume. They slowed that volume down. So he sounded drunk. He sounded like he was slurring his words. And the times when he said, got tripped up on a word, it exacerbated the effect. He manipulated the video. Now, me, if I'd had known that was coming, and I'd put the one up of him sitting there, I think this is what I think, blah, blah, blah. How do you think of that, Swalwell? Drag it out real long. But, yeah, they need to be called out of that kind of crap. But, I think a lot of people realize it. But you'd be surprised how many people don't. AI is real. It's real bad. I would ask him about Fang. But Jordan kept it focused on her and what her was saying. Now, I've got double Jeopardy in my thumbnail. I'm surprised that her did not mention Durham making a decision not to retry the two cases, the only two cases he ever lost, Durham. Because what Durham said was that as a prosecutor, you have to calculate your probability of success. And that's exactly what Robert Hur was talking about today. He was calculating the probability of a successful prosecution. And he came to the conclusion that the jury would perceive him, especially after the defense got through with twisting stuff around or whatever, the jury would perceive him as a well-meaning, confused old man. Durham didn't go after to retry people or file more charges because he thought the likelihood of conviction was low given the bias of the jury. No matter what he did, the process in the Magic Kingdom and its subsidiary, the Northern Virginia Beehive, the chances of him being able to produce a jury that would follow the law was remote. And he didn't bring that up. Robert Hur didn't bring that up. I was surprised. But there's probably a method. He's keeping things focused. He's keeping things focused, and he said what I just said. Now, think about this. If they were to charge Biden with the document situation, any other extraneous stuff, obstruction of justice, all that good stuff. And what Robert Hur was concerned about actually happened, and Biden was exonerated. Don't you think that would affect future, more serious charges under the umbrella of double jeopardy? In other words, why waste your ammo spitballing at something that's been presented to the public? And any reasonable, rational person would say, he's been there for half a century. He had no authority. He had the documents all over hell's half acre. He was reading classified information to a ghostwriter for his book. People's natural common sense will compare that to what's happening to Trump. The court of public opinion is where we win this battle. Why do we want to create a precedent of Biden being the first president to be charged with any crime over something this obvious when they have such a stranglehold over the judiciary and the jury pool? And that may insulate Biden from further charges under the umbrella of double jeopardy. Is what I'm saying making sense? Folks, give me some feedback. Let me know if what I'm saying is making sense. I'm not singing songs or jumping around. I see people coming and going. I'm trying to inform, not entertain, right? That's why I call my broadcasts. That's right, Awaken Trillium. He also says things on purpose by changing how a word is spelled or pronounced only. Sometimes he will say something. If you'll notice, Swalwell edited those clips so tightly that you hear only the word Trump was stumbling over, but you still hear parts of his points about how bad the migration is, how much crime there is. So what if you stumble over a word? Look how many times I have to purposely stumble over words to not get in trouble, but I get my point across. Sometimes Mr. T misspells stuff or says something in a funny way, so people will tune in to hear it, and they'll hear his message. not the word he stumbled on or misspelled. Okay, thank you. I'm seeing yeses. Thank you, Ivan. Nice to see you. I always make sense, Ivan. All right. So, it sounds kind of convoluted. And really, the notion of double jeopardy shouldn't apply in a lot of cases, but they hide under any fig leaf. That's what lawfare is about. Stretching the law, twisting the law, malforming the law. I talked in the past that in the 1800s, there was a term called pettifogging, that you're not allowed to use as an attorney. It's been banished from the lexicon because attorneys like to pettifog. And I don't need to give you a definition. I think the word pretty much speaks for itself. If somebody gets up and pettifogs. So, well, I'm not an attorney and I'm not in a courtroom, so I can use that word. When's the last time you heard the word pettifog? But that's what lawfare is. One component is to get things throw so much confetti in the air and waste everybody's time. But you're scratching and searching for that one juror or as many as you can get to go against the grain and get the decision you want or hang up a jury. So I sit here and go through this and everything that's going on and things I'll get to in a minute. And like everybody else, I'm getting exasperated. I'm saying, oh my gosh. And yeah, we know that, excuse me while I was sipping my coffee. We know, as Trump said, the first night, the election night, these things take time. 3 o'clock in the morning. That's what he said. I'll never forget it. Might have been 3:20, something like that. When they took our victory and doled it as much as they could. And I remember Bill Barr saying, you want some convictions? We can get convictions on small stuff. He said, but if you want scalps, that takes time. I should have got a copy of that that I could play. I know a lot of people are, Bill Barr. No, that's what Bill Barr said. You want scalps, it takes time. So we know this stuff takes time. But when you see the damage and you wonder, how can we recover from it? And I said that the alternative was a dystopia and civil unrest that would permanently divide this country. And there's no coming back from that. And the suffering and violence that would have to occur to find a balance would be way worse than what we're going through right now. I know it doesn't seem like that, but it's true. We have to have unity, and unity, success brings unity. So still, our patience is running thin, right? Now, there are good things on the horizon. What is the name? Do we have anybody from the UK in our chats? What is the name of the healthcare system there? It's the national healthcare system. Put out a notice, a policy that for minors, they're not going to supply any more gender, they say affirming, but to change kids' gender, that's a big step. Let me see if I can find it. Things are so tiny in the phone. But that was announced not too long ago, right? Today, wasn't it? Here it is, Tavistock. Tavistock Center. And they handle, I guess, the medications for the, I'm looking to see if there's any body from UK. But the national healthcare system is not going to pay. The single songwriter said, the NHS, National Healthcare Service. Thank you, single songwriter. Yeah, keep my channel safe, guys. I appreciate it very much. And so National Healthcare Service said they're not going to supply that. Well, Babylon Bee comes out real quick. I tell you, they crack me up. It says millions of British kids forced to live normal, happy lives after UK bans puberty blockers. So, you gotta laugh a little bit. But can we get some of that over here in our country? I've already connected the dots. Barack and Michelle, okay, Michael, nationalizing our healthcare system, and you, me, everybody that pays into it, everybody that pays participates in society, paying taxes on anything, are forced to make these companies rich that are pushing this on young people, children. Okay, so if it's good enough for the UK, it's good enough for us. Let me just clean up some of this stuff about her. Robert Hur said that Biden misled him, and that his ghostwriter admitted that once he found out he was, there's a chance of him getting in trouble for hearing classified information, he went to erase his tapes of their conversation. But I got one meme somebody put up. It's not a meme, it's informational. From CNN, a quote from Biden. I did not share classified information. I did not with my ghostwriter. I did not. I'll guarantee it. And Hur said, that is a transcript from, that's from the transcript they provided just before the hearings. So Hur's response, or one of his quotes was, we also identified other recorded conversations during which Mr. Biden read classified information aloud to his ghostwriter. So I'm just saying, this charging Biden, going through a national brouhaha, everything stopping dead to go over this classified, excuse me for using this terminology, classified papers, pissing contest. It's not the best thing to do right now. We've got a bigger worldwide cabal to tackle, and this is all getting thrown in the hopper. Okay? And the people are being informed now, bypassing mainstream media, by having these hearings, by posting these memes, by doing these broadcasts where we can discuss to people who haven't been exposed to the truth and to what's going on. We're getting way more traction than if everything stops to have hearings or impeachment or pick a jury to decide if Biden's guilty of classified documents, blah, blah, blah. No, we're going to keep going forward with the bigger issues, the bigger crimes that have been committed and are being committed. So, Patricia Dixon put out a picture of two attorneys standing together. Just because I have this in my lineup, because I'm going to try to go through everything without missing stuff. There's two attorneys that came out in New York City and said, if any of these firefighters, and I got some of the transcript of where they said, turn yourselves in so we don't got to hunt you down. These two attorneys said, if anybody gets the business, right, the business from Letitia or her cronies, that they will represent them for free. Okay, so let's hope that takes off. New York City lawyers offer to represent firefighters for free if they're disciplined for booing AG Letitia James. Let's hope more of them step up. Oh, Trump should have clinched the nomination tonight, guys. I think Washington, it gets decided around 11 tonight, a half an hour from now, unless you all see it's been called in the news. But tonight it was Washington, Georgia, Mississippi, and Hawaii. And they already called Georgia and Mississippi for Mr. T, right? And I think it was at 1,183 electoral votes. He needs 1,215 for the nomination. So if he wins, I believe just Washington, but if he wins Washington and Hawaii, for all intents and purposes, he's won the nomination. Tonight, okay? So we'll take the good with the bad. Let me see. I'm just checking the chats. Yeah, Sissy, he got Mississippi and Georgia already. Oh my goodness. No, he didn't have showers. No, was there you go, Island Girl, Tavistock Institute. But don't they, in the UK, it's all uniform, right? I mean, the government's not going to provide it, or is it just that one provider? Are they doing it outside of the National Health Services? Or is it a nationwide? I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. Oh, Georgia had another water main break, huh? Well, let me. Oh my gosh, I'm almost. Let me tell you something. I'll tell you two things, guys. Since I got a lot of people in here, and if I miss any stories, I'll try to get to them after I tell you these two things I really want to tell you. Because a lot of times I'll go through these broadcasts, I'll go through all these stories, and at the end I'll go, "Oh yeah, I want to tell you this." Well, I was telling you about Megan. What's her name? Megyn Kelly. Put a video out today, and I said, well, I wonder if she's going to call out Mr. T for telling her rest in peace. And I played it. Oh, no, it wasn't about that at all. I said, oh, really? Let me listen to it. What was it about? She was talking about Judge McAfee. Judge McAfee spoke publicly for the first time on a radio interview. Now, I've been watching different attorneys' opinions, not the ones that I know that are warped and bought off, okay, or communists, all right? I don't watch them. I don't have to. I know what they're going to say. So anyway, some normal ones who try to look at both sides of the pancake or know what's going on, said that Fannie really shot herself in the foot. Very aggressive, right? We talked about Judge McAfee was going to be up for re-election, and that the time for an opponent to register to run against Judge McAfee hadn't gone by yet. Some people were saying that he timed his decision. He said, I'll have a decision on this Fannie business in 2 weeks. That Judge McAfee was trying to get the ball over the goal line as far as not having an opponent, right? This wasn't in Megan's report. I'm just giving you background. But Fannie didn't want to sit around and wait. She's aggressive. So they get this radio personality, from what I understand, to file to run against Judge McAfee. So the writing's on the wall. They're letting him know you're going to lose the bench. You're going to lose your office if you don't toe the line with Fannie, right? So, we were going, oh my gosh, they're so crooked down there and all this stuff. What's the judge going to do? Are they threatening his family or what? Is he going to cave or what is he going to do? Well, in the radio interview, did you know he's only 36 years old? He might be younger than that. He's in his mid-30s. I didn't know he's that young. But Debbie, you put that letter in. You put that letter in, and I'm sure your comment's going to disappear. Why do that? Anyway, take me right off what I was talking about. Judge, man, I tell you that. Anyway, Judge McAfee, in his interview, he said, I forget how many kids he had. He said, I got kids. And I think he said they're 3 and 5. Yeah, if he wins Alaska and Washington, he'll be across 215. With just the other two, he's at 1183. So anyway, he said, I got 2 kids, and they're too young to even know what I do. And the questioner was saying, yeah, man, you're under a lot of pressure, and man, this is a nationwide case. This is a, big deal. Don't you feel the pressure? And he said, I think to myself, looking at these little kids, and they don't know what's going on. They just want to go through their day and have fun and stuff. And they have no idea even what I do. And I was thinking to myself, when they grow up, and I'm going to tell them my story. This is a paraphrase, but not exact. But he said, I want to be able to tell them the story, because it is a very important and historical story. And I want to tell them how I did what was best for the people and best for the country. I don't know, something to that extent. And I thought about it. He's got nothing to lose. They pulled the trigger too soon. They've already laid down their cards. And let him know and the people know that this is a cutthroat, dirty bunch. So if he lets her off the hook, how's that going to look historically? And they'll still kick him off because he's a Republican. And guess what else? He's part of the Federalist Society. The same thing they asked Robert Hur about, if he was part of the Federalist Society. there were some other references, and I don't even know who the Federalist Society is. I don't care. But I understand that it is a conservative group. It's more of a constitutional group. And I know they wouldn't have been bringing it up at the hearing today with Robert Hur, and they wouldn't have been bringing it up about Judge McAfee if it didn't scare them. So far, it sounds pretty good to me. So anyway, so we got that in the hopper. He's going to come out with his decision next week. Judge McAfee, about Fani Willis. The other thing I wanted to tell you about was this, I talked about it earlier in the broadcast, this Juan Merchan, the judge that's handling the Alvin Bragg case. Now, we can codify it down to we got at least, right now the players are Jack, Alvin, Tish, and Fanny. Or Fanny and Tish, however you want to do it. Tish and Fanny. Can you imagine being chased around by Tish and Fanny? But anyway, Alvin Bragg's the only one Trump's kind of thrown a life preserver to recently. He's thrown life preservers to all of them. If you'll remember, he's entreated Jack Smith to do the right thing before he really started bopping him upside the head. He entreated Judge Engoron, saying, I hope he does what's best for the country and respect for the court and all that kind of stuff. He's thrown them all lifelines. And he's been doing that with Alvin Bragg, halfway complimentary about him towards his judgment. Now, Alvin Bragg's got the quotes that he has been videoed using the term, one of many terms, caudacity. Caudacity. What you guys know what that means is taking the word Caucasian and audacity, and it's called caudacity, right? To who, excuse me, who, why eat, and then supreme assists, right? Caudacity. So he's got that stuff to think about. So we got those four players as far as prosecutors. Then we got these judges. Right now, I'm talking about Merchan. Judge Merchan said, well, if you all do any pleadings, it can only be 1 page long. At first, they told him they can't do any pleadings. You know, with these Supreme Court things and other stuff being decided, that they're not allowed to make any more filings. Well, Trump's attorneys went ahead and filed something anyway, and it was 3 pages. So Merchan's going to get all mad because it's more than 1 page. Now, if it was me, I'd have done a file on what do you call a thumb drive and taped it to a page and then folded the page up and say, here's 1 page. It's in the thumb drive. But anyway, they did something that I thought was very interesting, and I didn't see anybody connect the dots. Now, stick with me on this, all right? I've seen some people drop off because they don't want to exercise the kidneys. And I'm pointing to the side of my head right now, the kidneys. They filed something called that they're relying on the advice of counsel. And from what I understand, Trump was relying on the advice of counsel while the stuff was going on with where to put the money for Stormy and all this stuff. And you all remember who the counsel was, right? Cohen, all right, Michael Cohen. They didn't file that in the past because it could have opened the door up to people demanding information from the attorney, a bunch of discovery, and things that might get into other issues. So they've gone all this time and they never filed this relying on the advice of counsel. That he did not have the prerequisite intent to break the law. Trump did not have the prerequisite intent. They have to show he had the intent to break the law with the Stormy Daniels thing. Because there was a general awareness of attorneys being involved and that attorneys were handling it, and the paperwork they put before him was done under the advice of counsel, because there's a general awareness that attorneys handle all his stuff. He's a flipping billionaire with multiple interests, and he did have attorneys handling the paperwork for the case. Not only that, handling the funds. So he did not have the prerequisite intent. Now, why is this important? It's important for two reasons. But the main one that cracks me up, and that nobody caught so far, is that the filing is very similar to what Sam Bankman-Fried used in his defense. Okay? The big fraud deal with Sam Bankman-Fried. And it was accepted as a valid partial defense, why he's going to get a minimum punishment from the judge that is handling the E. Jean Carroll case. But this defense he filed, I believe yesterday, is infuriating Judge Merchan, who's handling the Stormy Daniels case. See how they're boobs. They try to protect the criminal scam Bankman-Fried. And I already talked about how Kaplan was involved in Sam Bankman-Fried, Epstein, okay, and this business of E. Jean Carroll. Then you got this Merchan dealing with Trump, trying to put the screws to him. How is Merchan going to conflict with Judge Kaplan's decision to allow that particular form of defense for Sam Bankman-Fried, but then not allowed for Trump? Now, I just put a lid on it. Does it make sense? Do you see the irony? You see why I was cracking up? And that's why attorneys have, I'm not an attorney, but that's why attorneys have a hard time telling jokes, because they find something funny. And to be able to tell a joke, you have to show the irony and the rules and, how this screws over this guy, and it's, they're not straightforward. But it's funny as hell, if you ask me, because just the other night I was discussing how Judge Kaplan was going to be handling the sentence of Sam Bankman-Fried. He wrote it all up. They put that defense in their sentencing agreements. He could be serving 100 years, but it looks like he's going to get 6 or 7. And part of his defense was just what Mr. T filed yesterday. A general awareness of relying on counsel. that proves that he did not have the prerequisite intent. So, it's hard to tell those kind of stories without going around Robin Hood's barn, but that's where they're dragging all of us. Because if people just read the paper or listen to the news, they don't have the time to have this background stuff. So you got two really good PO judges that look like asses. And you might as well add Engoron in there as the third one, even though it's a civil situation. He did not have prerequisite intent of committing any fraud, first of all, because there was no fraud. There was not a victim. Not only that, there was no crime with Engoron. They're fining him for accepted business practices where everybody was successful and made money, a good business deal for everybody involved. Somehow, they have turned that into a criminal act, a fraudulent act, being successful. So anyway, I thought it was a riot. And, all day long we heard the find me the votes crap, all the talking points of the left. It's boy, this time goes by so fast. And I saw where somebody put in yesterday, P3DO would, right? And that's a movie being put out by Mel Gibson. So we got to be careful with that, talking about that. But Mel Gibson is coming out with another smack in the face, of Hollywood. And it's a documentary that is not going to pull any punches. And it's called P3DO would, okay? And I didn't talk about it last night because I was on other issues and never got back to it. Well, let me just check the chats. See what's going on. Extended live stream. Yeah, I'll keep going for a little bit, but people start dropping off and going to bed. It's fine, but don't come back in the chats on a future broadcast to talk about stuff I've already talked about. If you're going to dip out and not listen to the replay. Well, now this business of Ken Buck. Ken Buck at first announced that he was not going to run. He was going to step down in November, right? Here's a new card on the table, folks, and we got to keep in the back of our mind that somebody's doing some kind of strategizing or menacing or threatening. So Ken Buck said, "I'm not going to run for re-election. I'm out of here. I'm not November. I'm done." Okay. Well, today, he said he's stepping down next week. He's stepping down next week. What happened in the last 48, 72 hours to cause that? And what's going to happen as a result of that? We're going to lose the majority. They're going to be able to call for the Democrats are going to be able to try to muscle out Mike Johnson and put their own person in. This garbage that the Senate is spitting out, about immigration reform, UCRISL funding, all that stuff, we're going to be in a much weaker position to block and defend that. So I don't see the rhyme or reason. We're at a very vulnerable point. And he's dipping out. He's dipping out. So where did that come from? I'm just looking through the chats. Linda Marie says, millionaire. Well, they're all millionaires, aren't they? Buck is a rhino, Debbie says. Yeah. Yeah, dysfunction. That's what it's going to be. And we talked about that a long time ago, about paralysis, okay, where an institution or institutions are paralyzed and they can't function in the manner which they were intended, and they can't enforce the law or protect the Constitution. What do you do in that situation? A log jam, right? Well, anyway, what I got out of both these situations, with the Fani Willis situation, the Robert Hur hearings, you remember when they were having the impeachment inquiries and the actual impeachment of Trump, and they were waiting for the Mueller report. They were accusing of Donald Trump of obstruction of justice simply for proclaiming his innocence. I didn't do what you're saying I did. They called that obstruction of justice. I don't need to point out to you all every isolated instance where we're seeing in both these cases tampering with evidence, okay, obstruction of justice, witness tampering, okay, and with Fani, it could be a lot worse, threatening witnesses, lying to federal authorities. That's what they claim they got General Flynn on and made his life hell. Peter Navarro is supposed to go to jail next week. So Mike Davis put out a bunch of stuff about what we should be able to do to the current administration. Cori Bush, that's her name. Yeah, Cori Bush. I saw some people in the chat saying that. Called Mr. T a Robert Burr. Harry, let's see. Harry Bird. So Mike Davis, Mr. T reposted, he teed off what Mike Davis had said. And Mike Davis in the past has said that he is going to be the next attorney general under Trump. He said Biden doesn't believe the president of the United States is immune from criminal prosecution for his official acts. Trump 47 DOJ could indict Biden in the U.S. District Court for the Middle District of Georgia for Biden's illegal parole of Laken Riley's murderer. Let's do it. That's a pretty heavy thing to say. But he continues. And the Trump 47 Justice Department can indict Obama for capital murder for drone striking 2 American citizens, including a minor, and indict David Barron, Obama's legal advisor, and now a federal appellate judge for green-lighting it. No one is above the law, right? So we can get one sitting president, an ex-president, and a federal judge. But wait, there's more. Mike Davis brings up a very interesting comment from a Harvard law professor, a liberal Harvard law professor. Now, the background on that for new people is that Trump has repeatedly stated that Harvard needs to be very strongly looked at for the multi-billion-dollar endowment they have, and for I've talked about their communist and foreign influences. But anyway, that aside, Mike Davis said, liberal Harvard law professor Noah Feldman denounces Biden's lawfare against Trump. At a synopsis, guess who he was addressing? This liberal professor called Biden's actions a banana republic. He was running a banana republic, denounced what he was doing to Trump, and he was talking to a group. And I'll tell you what the name of the group was. Are you ready? The Federal Society Students Synopsis. There we go again with the Federal Society. Have you all noticed that group being brought up quite a bit in the last few days? Is it just me hearing it? I've heard it before. I've talked about it. I've talked about it limited amount in the past. I've heard people talk about it in the past. But now I'm hearing it every day, and I'm hearing it in the biggest cases and the biggest stories that this nation has been facing. And I think we're going to be hearing a lot more. The Federal Society. I have to check that out. So keep that in mind. Revealed, Biden bragged to special counsel about, quote, a real advantage of China-funded pen job. Quote, they gave me money. The transcript from Robert Hur that everybody got this morning of Joe Biden's October 2023 interview with special counsel Robert Hur reveals he boasted about the real advantage he gained after taking the job. They gave me money. It's his voice on tape. And even Newsweek. This is another sign of what I was talking about a while back. We talked about it a while back. The Truth and Reconciliation Act. Is this a part of the Truth and Reconciliation Act? Newsweek put out Biden's toxic nightmare of a speech made Americans miss Trump. What? Newsweek? The entire speech was a disgraceful spectacle, unworthy of our great nation. But there was one silver lining. It made the American people miss Trump. I'm flabbergasted for that to come out from Newsweek. You never saw that, even 6 months ago. Organization, singer-songwriter, strongly conservative, libertarian, lawyers, judges, politicians, government officials, legal scholars, and law students. Founded as a student association Association in 1982. Well, thank you, single songwriter. Sounds like a good group to me so far. So I wouldn't judge Robert Herr right now because of I think they're just not muddying the waters. They're protecting future prosecutions from a double jeopardy umbrella and many other reasons, I'm sure. But this is what Mr. Trump teed off on. Classified documents were found at the Penn Biden Center. Herr, that's correct. In Biden's garage. Herr, yes. And in his basement den. Herr, yes. And his main office floor. Herr, correct. And in his third floor den. Herr, correct. At the University of Delaware. Herr, correct. And at the Biden Institute. Herr, correct. There's a lot of corrects. Yeses. Yes, correct. Yes, correct. He left them all over house half acre. Sissy, you got stock in Geritol? That's good. I don't need it yet. I have a little bit of something. No Geritol yet. Yeah, Jax, I saw something about National Guard and Reserves. I also saw that, what was it, 300,000? Where is that report? NATO soldiers numbering 300,000 are in high readiness for deployment to Poland. Deputy Chief of the Polish General Staff, Dymanowski. NATO soldiers numbering 300,000 are in high readiness for redeployment to Poland. Hey, they're cooking up something, right? We know, or multiple things that are going to shake this nation up. Trump said this country needs to be shaken up, and it's going to happen. Don't forget about our friends in Canada. They had a bunch of people shoving them around and beating them up with clubs, wearing uniforms from God knows where and speaking in languages God knows what. If it can happen to them, it can happen to us. Yeah, I'm looking at the, that was from an Eastern news block. And I didn't talk about they called it an attempt on Zelensky earlier in the week, last week, or over the weekend. I'll get into that next broadcast. But they refer to some of these characters learning to drive these Leopard tanks and Abram tanks. They refer to them as Ukrainian TikTokers because they put up TikTok videos, and that might be why they're taking out so many tanks and Leopards and Abrams tanks. Because when they go online or upload a video, you can zero right in on their device. Boom! Like I said, shooting beer cans. Yeah, Diane, it's with Ken Buck leaving, it's razor thin. All right, Nikki, yes, I know you gotta hit the hay. What's going on here? Good night, Nikki. Yeah, misspell the words. So anyway, folks. All right, so I probably won't broadcast tomorrow unless something big happens. I got a lot of stuff I haven't discussed, but I'm not just going to read stuff off like a parakeet. We got to kind of dig into it. I'm just so happy that this Judge Mascara and this Judge Mercon had the same defense his other creepy co-conspirator okay, Judge Kaplan accepted from scam Stankman frauds attorneys. Trump smacked him right up in the face with it. Ha ha ha, cracks me up. Oh, really nasty storm in Tennessee? Well, hunker down. Well, the Federalist Society has a utility channel. Well, they don't like them. I can tell you that. Cory Bush don't like them. All right, folks. Unless something big happens, I won't be broadcasting tomorrow. But if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the like button first, and then subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I go live, so you don't miss out on nothing. All right, folks. I thank you all for spending your precious time with me. I hope you all have a great evening. Stay safe. Be prepared. Be ready for anything. Expect the unexpected. And I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.